his brother as he took his place on the field. Wigan side, Radlinski, Robinson, Twigamala, Connolly, Ellison, Paul and Edwards. Up front, O'Connor, Hall and Cowie, Horton and Cassidy, Farrell loose forward. Bench, Barrow, Murdoch, Skerritt, Johnson. Coach, Graham West. Bradford at full-back, Cook a change. Tamani, Callan, Lachlan, Scales. Bradley and Robbie Paul. McDermott, Lowes, Furbank, Nicol, Dwyer and McNamara. And on the bench, it's Graham, Medley, Tomlinson, Doniger, and the coach is Brian Smith. Tonight's match referee is David Campbell, one of the top officials in the game. We always get the top referees on the Sky Sports live Super League matches, and for a semi-final, why not? It's Wigan against Bradford, 80 minutes away from Old Trafford and the Premiership final. And David Campbell trying to get the water carriers and the sand carriers off the field and wants to get this game underway. And so it's game on at Central Park, and Chris Radlinski will start us off. He kicks off. Big test this of both sides. Wigan, they haven't won a trophy yet. Bradford have had a wonderful season, but they have got nothing to show other than the third place in the table. Tamani took the first tackle. This now is McNamara. Wigan piling in, and Henry Paul tonight playing in his white boots. I wonder if they are the lucky white boots. This is Sonny Nicol. Bounces off two. Nicol. Tremendous run from Nicol early. Fabulous run. Plays the ball quickly. Lowes gets the pass out to Bradley, and Bradley will drive it up the middle towards the halfway line.
Good work by the Bulls. They're working on the blind side. They could see that Wigan were a little bit slow to set up there. And you mentioned earlier that both these sides, they are desperate for silverware. They've got wonderful fans. They really have been backed by the supporters, and they would like to repay them in some fashion. And Old Trafford beckons. Less than 80 minutes now for either one of these sides to get there.
Neil Cowie releases the ball, and that's brilliantly pinched by Bradley.
Well, I can't believe that Cowie, under a lot of pressure, released the football in his own quarter.
This now is Paul Cook, playing at full-back, but up now supporting this attack. What a mistake.
Well, why on earth he tried to get it away? If you're in the opponent's quarter, yes.
Lachlan takes the tackle. He's 5 meters short of the Wigan line. What a spectacular start this would be. Nicol trying to twist and turn, and it's desperate defence from Wigan. Well, I think that the opening minute and a half has set the tone for what we can expect, because this should be a rip-roaring match. This is the last tackle. Lowe spins the ball into the arms of McNamara. It comes further wide to Bradley. Bradley cutting back in field. Tries to dump the ball over the top. Bounces off the legs of Lowe's. Well picked up by Radlinski.
It wasn't the best pass, but the hooker did well. He didn't reach down for it. It allowed the boot to get to the football. But Bradley was looking for support. You could see that the Wigan defence had moved up. Super stuff by Radlinski. What a great start to this game. Wigan under pressure, but they've got away with it.
They now are trying to get this ball out of their own quarter. Radlinski, the man who swept up the danger. This now is Andrew Farrell. Good tackling, this time coming in from Brian McDermott. Cowie into the arms of Edwards, and Edwards will kick it deep. Turns Tamani round. Paul Cook is after it also. Tamani says leave it. He will have it. And Tamani runs it back at Robinson on the zero tackle. He's hauled down by Twigamala as well. Paul Cook now for Bradford, taking on Cowie and Cassidy.
Superb kick downfield by Sean Edwards, and the chase was there. The big man, Vaiga Twigamala and Robinson were quick to get to the opposite number, Joe Tamani.
Now McNamara changes direction, gets the balls to the halfway line, disappears under the challenge though of O'Connor. James Lowes is the dummy half. He gives it to Graham Bradley. Bradley looks out wide and finds Callan, and Callan goes round Twigamala but can't go round Horton. Another quick play the ball. Lowes starts the attack again with Dwyer. Dwyer taking on O'Connor and Hall. That's the last tackle now for the Bradford Bulls. They made 53 meters. The next few are important as McNamara dabs the ball through. Radlinski gets it though on the bounce, but a good chase once more.
Good option by McNamara, but tremendous positioning by the fullback, Chris Radlinski. The big fella's charging downfield. It's taken 4 to bring him down. But look at the positional sense here from Radlinski. in fine form is a Wigan full-back, and it has to be. They will test him all night.
Hall from dummy half scurries away with it, gives it on to Horton. Horton is grounded by the tackle from Nicol. This now is Hall again. He switches it to the right-hand side to find Farrell. Farrell gets to Paul, but Paul is tackled by McNamara. It wasn't complete. Now it is, courtesy of Brian McDermott. This is Cassidy, and here's O'Connor. O'Connor taking it again, 10 metres inside the Bradford Bulls half of the field. Edwards must kick. High kick it is. And underneath it is Paul Cook. Paul Cook claims it, no pressure on him. Gets away from Radlinski, skirts away from Horton, but can't get away from Twiggamala.
Two nice steps there from the full-back Paul Cook, but he went right into the brick wall. Twiggamala to him. Well, it's kick and chase time for Wigan. That's what they've used on the 2 sets of 6. They know that this Bradford defence is pretty solid. They're eager to try to get involved. Tense times for the Wigan coach, Graham West.
Sonny Nicol marauds it up the middle, bounces off Edwards. Tremendous run. Bradley. Support arrives from McDermott, but Connolly's after him. Copybook tackle from Connolly. McDermott didn't have the pace. Maybe they have out wide with Loughlin. Loughlin, though, comes back this way. Finds McNamara. Connolly there again.
What on earth did Loughlin go back on the inside? It was a beautiful long ball out wide. It missed out 2 of defenders. They were caught short. They've missed the chance. Twiggamala, it's a try, surely. Well, Twiggamala took all the time in the world.
If Bradley got to that first, it must be a try, but the referee hands it on to the video ref. It's down to the man hidden away here at Central Park to make his decision. Bradley thinks he's scored.
So do I. Twiggamala took all the time in the world. That is try time.
The dancing on the terraces from Bradford. They've watched the big screen with us.
Well, I cannot believe that Twiggamala, he just held off, thought that the weight, the bulk of his body would keep Bradley away from planting the hand on the football, and you could see quite clearly what this will be.
The try is given. Bradford have the start that they desired. Bradley with the try, but what was Twiggamala doing? He was dawdling, and Bradley wasn't.
It really was a beautiful kick. I thought they'd bombed their opportunity. Bradford, the long ball out wide, and the big centre, Paul Loughlin, had actually come back on the inside. Oh, tremendous stuff. The crowd, the Bradford fans behind those posts.
What a start then for the Bradford Bulls. And now Steve McNamara, with 78 Super League goals, can maybe make the 4 into 6. Twiggamala knows he's blundered. Maybe Bradford will pay for that later. McNamara with the kick, hits the post. It's only a 4-point lead. The Bulls ahead, though, perhaps crucially.
Well, it went out wide. Bradley put the ball through, and you could see that Twiggamala, maybe there's a mix-up with Radlinski. Either way, nobody called. They hesitated. This was crucial. Radlinski, he pulled back, so did Twiggamala. He thought the bulk would perhaps stop anybody coming. Bradley gets there first. Quite clear, an easy one for the video ref.
No dispute about that. Here now is Danny Ellison. Oh, brilliant tackle. Terrific tackle from Furbank. Picked Ellison up and dumped him to the ground. Well, Bradford wanted a good start, and after 7 minutes they've got it. This now will test this Wigan side. 1984, the last time they ended a season without a trophy. Since then, and listen to this, they've won no less than 40 cups. But is this going to be their first barren season in 12 years? Bradford hope so. They're ahead by 4 points to 0. This, though, is Connolly, who will dab the ball towards the corner, and it's watched all the way by John Scales.
Did the right thing, did the winger Scales. Probably could hear them herring on towards him behind the back. Connolly opting for a little kick down on the blind side, but what a start for the Bradford Bulls. It all came about by 2 silly mistakes from Wigan. Most unlikely. We saw the first one, Neil Cowie keeping the ball alive when under a lot of pressure.
This could be a blow. Sonny Nicol comes off and is replaced by Jeremy Doniger. So a change has had to be made by Brian Smith earlier than he anticipated. Nicol has gone off and Doniger's come on. We'll try and get news of the problem with Sonny Nicol in a few moments' time from Alistair Mann. Meanwhile, it's the Bradford Bulls in possession with McDermott, who gets himself to his feet. That's McNamara. This is Bernard Dwyer. Dwyer, Nicol, who's gone off, and Paul Loughlin, of course, former St Helens players, and they know what it means to tangle with Wigan. Bradley now has started this game magnificently, the Australian.
No one going low on the big Australian Bradley, and that's the biggest problem in defence. He doesn't look as though he's running fast, but he's very deceptive running. Oh, swinging arm there from the loose forward, Andrew Farrell.
But what a run from John Scales, a belligerent run. Lowes, it goes out wide, Robbie Paul, good hands. Lowes again. Lowes is tackled, but gets the ball away. Who's got it?
Sean Edwards has it.
No, it's back to zero. Doniger's got it.
Well.
So more pressure from Bradford. Robbie Paul spinning still, and Simon Horton had hold of his ankles.
Referee Campbell says get out of the way. Well, Simon Horton hung on.
He wants a word with Edwards. David Campbell wants a word with Sean Edwards. And he's going to penalise Sean Edwards for what the referee is describing as a cheap shot.
Well, he just had a little hit there, didn't he? You could see the right arm swinging through. Robbie Paul not shaken by it, but you can see. And that's why referee David Campbell called it a cheap shot, and it was. Well, he's frustrated. The Wigan fans are frustrated, but you can hear the Bradford Bulls fans just in front of this man, Steve McNamara, who's looking to add a further 2 points.
McNamara then with the penalty. He missed by hitting the post with the conversion. This is much easier, but he misses again. Oh dear, 2 kicks have gone west as far as McNamara's concerned, and as far as the Bulls are concerned.
Well, this is the incident where you can see the loose forward Farrell. He certainly went straight in on the winger, John Scales. Well, this Wigan defence is all at sea. They are really under pressure. Bradford are keeping this ball alive. They're twisting in the tackle. They're doing things superbly.
Lowes just down a blind alley for the time being. Now the blind alley somehow opens up, but Robbie Paul went without the ball, and Simon Horton's got it back. Tackled by Doniger, who's come on for Sonny Nicol, and we understand that Nicol has got a suspected fractured arm. What a blow for Bradford and Sonny Nicol. 10 minutes gone.
Not what you want, and that was poor play there by Doniger. Really did give away a good position, and Wigan quick to get on with it. There you see he's holding the man down. It relieves the pressure. Not only that, Wigan now for the first time in this game, they can apply the pressure themselves, and they'll feel fortunate that they're not 8 points down. There were 2 easy kicks there for McNamara.
Well, the 4 points that McNamara has blown could be really critical at the end of the night. Farrell with this run, fed by Edwards. The tackle came in from Callan, was it, and Furbank. It's now with Paul, and here is Twiggamala. Twiggamala, tremendous defence again. And it's Graham Bradley who got to him first. Connolly to Henry Paul, to Edwards. It's opened up for Edwards. Edwards scores. The scores are level. It was created by Henry Paul's brilliant pass, and Edwards goes in under the sticks. Unlucky 13 for Edwards.
They got tucked in. You see them all go for Paul there. 3-on-1. That really was poor defensive play. Steve McNamara should have peeled out to his left. He didn't. You'll see how 3 go for the man. It was open run. Good position. What a great pass throw from Paul. From the high shot, you can see 3 go for 1. And look at the gap there that McNamara left. You don't give this guy a chance. He loves nothing better. Plonks it straight down underneath the sticks.
He's scored now in 5 successive games, Sean Edwards. A new contract here at Wigan to extend his stay at Central Park, but it looks like he's pulling out of the Great Britain Lions tour. He will need surgery apparently on a knee problem at the end of this campaign. Farrell from bang in front, 103 Super League goals, 22 points last week against Workington, and another 2 to Andrew Farrell, and 2 more for Wigan, who incredibly, after the start Bradford have had, now hold the lead.
You can see the huge gap that they left. 3-on-1, bang, beautiful pass, in and out, weaving run from Edwards. What a fight back.
Radlinski restarts. Remember, in Super League it's the scoring team who kicks off. Ball goes back to the defending side then, and it's Tamani again. That's the first tackle. Well, 6-4 after 12 minutes and 45 seconds. And what a great start we have had to this year's Premiership here.
But those 2 missed kicks by McNamara, you could see the heads go down when McNamara missed the second one. Instead of controlling this game at 8-0, they find themselves 2 points adrift. All that hard work thrown away, and you've got to take it back. That's 2-on-1. That'll be a penalty to the Bradford side,
and it is.
Well, it's no good that Henry Paul trying to take some charge here. You can see that there's a man low. Farrell it was, and Paul takes the ball away. You can't do that. Wigan crowd not happy with it, even though they concede on the large screen here. But you've got to go back to that mistake where they give away that silly penalty. Jeremy Donoghue, they were in the Wigan half and allowed Wigan to get back into this game.
Well, Bradford hit Wigan with a whirlwind at the start. They had just the 4 points to show. Now this is Robbie Paul again. Such a talent. Picked out, though, by Sean Edwards. A little knee then used by Edwards, and Robbie Paul has wagged a finger at Sean Edwards. There's no love lost between these two. That was missed by the referee, David Campbell, but he definitely raised the knee. This is Bernard Dwyer taking Bradford to be within 2 metres of those Wigan posts. Lowe's. Off the ground it goes then to Donegal. Twigamala has Donegal, and he wrestles him back another couple of metres. This is Lowe's. James Lowe's going for glory on his own and just held up by 3 Wigan players. O'Connor had hold of him. Twigamala was in there, and so too was Henry Paul.
Tremendous tackle by the prop forward, Terry O'Connor. The hooker Lowe's was spinning in the tackle, looked as though he was going over the line, but the strength of the prop forward prevented it. Well, they're finding the gaps in this Wigan defence, especially down on the blind side. The Wigan coach, Graham West, I'm sure will be getting the message out quickly. You've got to move up both sides. This is the incident where Sean Edwards getting a little bit too excited. Robbie Paul says, hey, mates, cut it out.
Now Jason Robinson's on the way. He's beaten Dwyer. He's got Paul Cook to beat. Cook's offered him the touchline, and Cook does well. That's good defence from the Bradford fullback. And Robinson played that ball to himself. Played it with the heel, turned round, picked it up. This now is Twigamala. Bounces off one, brushes one aside. Long ball out wide. 3 men on the overlap. One of them's Radlinski. Oh, try Radlinski. They had the gun loaded out wide, Wigan. There were 3 men waiting. Radlinski was one of them. Another beautiful pass out wide, and Radlinski died for the corner.
It all came from deep within their own half from this man, Jason Robinson. What a tremendous Super League season this guy's having. The best in the world. No one can tell me there's a better winger running around in any rugby code. He did the right thing. That is the new rule. You can play it backwards and then turn around and pick it up. You cannot play the ball forward as you could in the olden days. Connolly just drew the defence. Radlinski. Beautiful finish. Quick thinking there by Robinson. The Bradford players appealing for a penalty, but they do not know the rules. Get on with it. Twigamala's strength. Connolly, come and take me. Commits Radlinski. What a great finish. Excellent centre play. You could see that the big man, Carl Fairbank, had committed himself. What on earth Fairbank was doing out on the wing is beyond me.
Well, Radlinski, the man who scored the hat-trick at the Old Trafford final last year and became the youngest winner of the Man of the Match award, the Harry Sunderland Trophy, has come up with a priceless 4 points here for the former champions, but the Premiership holders. Farrell, bang in front a few minutes ago. It's way out on the touchline. Oh, it brushes the post and goes over. Well, Farrell's kicked 2 magnificent kicks. McNamara's missed 2 for Bradford, and Wigan now have a 12-4 lead.
This is where it all came about. Long ball out to Connolly, and from there on in, they were struggling to get anywhere into it. Fairbank tried his hardest. There was just no one there in the end. They created the extra man. And what another great tackle from the big fella, Twigamala.
Brian McDermott felt that. This is Matt Calland. He picks himself up, plays the ball. Bernard Dwyer, who tried to get the ankle tap in. Steve, I think the Bradford players might have been appealing for a penalty at that play of the ball, because I don't think they believed that Robinson played the ball properly with his boot. The referee was happy, and this now is Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul taking on Radlinski. He skinned him. That's a breathtaking try, and what a response from Robbie Paul. He took on Chris Radlinski, went in and out, and there's a real schmozzle here. There's a real fight now, and there was something said or something done, and the 2 brothers, Henry is pushing Robbie off. Something went on as Paul scored that try, and the referee has got to sort this out before it gets any worse.
Well, we knew it was going to be tense out there. Sean Edwards, he's been involved in quite a few of the fracas we've seen early in this match. But let's not forget the brilliance of that man. It was a superb run. The style of Robbie Paul. It was outstanding. When they needed something drastic, it was this. There you see the swinging arm from Edwards. Robbie Paul was obviously thinking, I'll score the try first. It was a cheap shot again from the Wigan halfback, Sean Edwards. And that's the reason why McNamara, they didn't like it. They know that Edwards had swung the arm early. We mentioned it before, Wigan are slow to move up on the blind side. That was the incident. And you can see Bradley back on the inside. He didn't need him. But there you see Bradley trying to just block the way for Sean Edwards. And as he turned round, he said, bang, take that.
Well, Bradley has got 10 minutes in the sin bin, and so has Sean Edwards. 2 men in the sin bin, and the referee wants, I think, a word with the try scorer. He's held the clock up. Edwards is in the sin bin. Bradley's in the sin bin.
James Lowes is on his way to the referee too. He came in very late, did the hooker, swinging the arm. Now then, will James Lowes stay on the field?
The referee has said to James Lowes, you are running a very thin line, and take the message back to your teammates that referee David Campbell is going to have no more of this. He's put 2 in the bin to cool their heels, Bradley and Edwards. And now he wants a word with Andy Farrell. And he's telling Andy Farrell and Steve McNamara, Andy Farrell particularly, to tell his team to sort it out and cut out all the messing around and all the silliness. Well, the stakes are high, Steve-O. They really are. And let's not take anything away from the magnificence of Robbie Paul's try, despite the fact that we had all that crazy behaviour after the ball was touched down.
Well, it was another cheap shot from Sean Edwards. That's what it all started from, but full credit to Paul. He continued on, made sure he got the points. This is a vital kick now.
Sure is. It's bang in front from McNamara. He makes no mistake this time. That will do his confidence a power of good, and so will that scoreline. 12-10 now to Wigan.
Boy, did they need it. There you can see Robbie Paul not happy with the situation. Sean Edwards looking innocent and saying, what did I do? Well, he knows perfectly well. Well, it's always going to be tight. It's always going to be tense in knockout situations like this. Nothing for coming second today. Old Trafford beckons the winners. And look at the face there, Robbie Paul. Shaun Edwards trying to take on the might of the big forwards. Well, full credit to the Bulls, they fought back. They were controlling this game. Wigan then took control. But this Wigan defence on the blind side has to sort themselves out. They're having to rest instead of moving up.
Nick Cassidy is tackled by Bernard Dwyer and by Matt Calland. Martin Hall's in at dummy half. This now is Farrell, who will hoist a high kick. This is a tester for Paul. Tamani's underneath it, and Joe Tamani takes it, and then Twigamala comes in and steams into the ground.
Tremendous take. Eyes on the football.
They've lost the ball, Bradford. Wigan have it back. This is Henry Paul. Henry Paul shows it out wide and then takes the tackle from Loughlin.
Bad mistake by Jeremy Donoghue. It was Donoghue that gave away the silly penalty before that allowed Wigan back into this game. And the same man knocks on the very first tackle.
Big pressure then for the Bradford Bulls. O'Connor's lost it, but it was stolen. And the referee has given the penalty to Wigan. And surely Farrell will kick the 2 points.
2-on-1. Good refereeing by David Campbell there. Lowe's involved. Fairbank reefs the ball out right in front of the referee. Can't do that. 1-on-1, okay. Any more than that, penalty.
So Carl Fairbank concedes the penalty, and this will be surely another 2 points for Andrew Farrell. 2 out of 2 so far. One bang in front, one out on the touchline, which brushed the post and scraped over. And Farrell just setting his sights. 11 metres out, just to the right of the uprights as he looks. David Campbell is the man in the middle, and he has got a big job on his hands. Said before the match he was one of the top 4 officials in the game, and he's having to prove his worth here at Central Park. Bradford are being told to move back behind the try line while that kick was taken. And the kick is successful from Andy Farrell, and Wigan lead by 14 points to 10.
That will settle the nerves down. And the Wigan skipper knows that, the loose forward, Farrell. Nice kick, he took his time, realised that tempers were flaring. Things were beginning to get out of hand.
Well, both sides down to 12 men as Radlinski restarts. Paul Cook takes the kick off, gives it then to Tamani, and Tamani runs it back, gets through 2, gets through another 2, but just loses his footing in front of Gary Connolly. Great run out of defence from Tamani. Now it's the turn of Carl Fairbank.
Tremendous run by Tamani, the winger, but you have to point the finger at this Wigan defence. They're going far too high. It is not the Wigan defence we've seen of old. It must be worrying their coach, Graham West.
Here's the brilliant Paul. Saw a little gap. It was closed, though, by Twigamala and brother Henry. And then Martin Hall came in for the kill. But Martin Hall, messing around, wouldn't allow Robbie Paul to get to his feet. Penalty to Bradford. Referee's right.
Bit of a late flop as well. And you can see that he's holding him down. They do that so that the defence can get back. The 10 metres sort their one line of defence out. They held on a little bit too long there, did the hooker Martin Hall. Well, it's the tactics that a lot of teams have employed against Wigan. They make them play a very tight game. Once Wigan try to get the ball out wide, if they play expansive football, they're pretty hard to stop. But a stop-start affair does nothing for them.
Bernard Dwyer plays the ball to James Lowes. Here's Robbie Paul again. Robbie Paul skirts around the outside, gives it to Tamani. Strength from Tamani! Held up, no try. Tamani over the line, but the Wigan defence on that occasion stood firm.
Well, that deserved a try. It was a beautiful flick back on the inside, and Tamani came in off the wing. Radlinski's strength there. Turned him on his back, made sure that there was no chance. Now, Radlinski took that ball away.
It's head and feed to Bradford because the man was held up on his back over the try line. So it's Bradford's feed, and they get the possession inevitably with Dwyer. And here's another test of this Wigan defence coming up. 24 minutes gone, and out wide is Loughlin. He's got John Scales further wide. Connolly's all round him, so too Ellison. Loughlin picks himself up, plays the ball quickly to Lowe's. This now is Doniger, and Doniger takes the balls to within 3 metres of that line. Lowe's spins the ball into the arms of McNamara. McNamara round the corner brilliantly, but into the arms of Cowie. Wrong colours.
Well, a man was coming back on the inside, but he'd gone too early. He'd left him.
Penalty now to Wigan.
Well, the idea was there. The big forward went through the tackle, but the man had gone far too early and far wide.
Terry O'Connor drives the ball up towards the halfway line, ever present in the Wigan front row in Super League. This now is Neil Cowie, Welsh international. He takes the tumble. Quick play the ball from him to Hall. Here's Henry Paul, now Twigamala. Danger for Bradford whenever this fella's got the ball. And when he gives it to Henry Paul, who helps it on now to Farrell. And Farrell shrugs away the attentions of two, but puts in an awful pass. And Horton misses it, and Robbie Paul has swooped. Well, incredible from these two sides. They're both making errors, and they are opening the door for the opposition. This now is Fairbank. Obviously, it's got to be tension. Semi-final football, Old Trafford beckoning. Big payday at Old Trafford. And both sides here desperate to get there. Robbie Paul.
Full credit to the ball side, though. They're running the angles. They're bringing the ball back from the outside, inside. They really are prepared to take their options. It's not flat. The line ball across.
Calland dabs it through again. Calland, and he picks up, and does he score? Referee wants a word with the touch judge.
Try for me.
Referee and touch judge surrounded by the players of both sides. Discussion taking place. Big call here.
Try for mine.
They can't decide. It's going to go to the television screen.
He kicked that football. It bounced off a Wigan player. They all stood around, and he just played on.
They're not sure that it wasn't a knock-on. They just want the video ref to take a look at this and make the decision for them. Was it a knock-on or wasn't it?
Came off Cassidy. He never touched it. He kicked it. It came off Robinson. They all stood around, and he picked it. His foot was off the ground. They think he may have been in touch, but his foot was raised. This is the point where he picks the ball up. The foot's out there, but when he picks it up and touches it, it's lifted. So therefore, for mine, that is a try. This will stun the Central Park crowd. Good work, though, by Calland. He played to the whistle.
There's a hush all round Central Park. We look at the big screen. There's the decision. Central Park stunned, so is Graham West. The try given, Matt Calland, and the Bradford supporters celebrate. And it just shows you how important modern technology is. That try would never have been given 12 months ago.
And more importantly is that Calland played to the whistle. The Wigan players stood around. They're complaining. They're going to get no help. As Eddie said, technology is not on Wigan's side this time. Quick thinking. There it goes, but what's that right foot? Wonderful. It would have been impossible without the big screen of Cassidy, then off Robinson. Shake it all about and stand. And whilst they were stood, Callan went in for what could be the vital try of the game.
So Steve McNamara, this time from way out on the touchline, kicks on the way. Oh, he's kicked it! Sensational kick from McNamara, and Bradford get back into the lead. 16-14.
Well, if any youngsters are watching, you must always play to the whistle. Unless the ball is dead, you continue on. Callan never gave up the ghost. The Wigan players did. It was a split second between it. Perhaps Callan didn't know what he was doing, but he lifted the right foot at the right moment.
Wigan 14, Bradford 16. Ellison tackled by McNamara, who looked as though he'd left his shooting boots on the bus earlier, but what a kick from the touchline for that one. Kelvin Skerritt's come on for Wigan. This is Twigamala, and Cowie is the man that Skerritt has replaced. Welsh international for Welsh international.
Good play by Bradley there. He pinched the ball of Twigamala. Twigamala in the tackle, released it. He relaxed for just a moment, and Bradley says, give it to me. It went backwards. Mistakes are plenty by this Wigan outfit. They are really, really getting ruffled.
Robbie Paul, another jinking run, gives it to Doniger. Doniger gets away from Hall, can't get away from Skerritt, and O'Connor was in there quickly for good measure. James Lowes, Steve McNamara.
This is great play by the Bradford side. They really are taking on this Wigan defence. They're not frightened to run forward.
And they're keeping the ball alive. This is the last tackle. Robbie Paul to Paul Medley. Quick hands. Out wide it goes to Callan. And Callan now will dab it through. Robinson's there. And Robinson just waited long enough. Made sure. Gets away from Medley. Gets away from Callan. Turns and spins again. But Callan gets him second attempt.
Good play. Hard work by Robinson to try to get out of his own quarter. But the Bradford Bulls would not be denied. A boot goes up in the air.
Coming up to half an hour on the watch. Let's see what our special guest Sean McRae thinks about all this. 16-14 to Bradford. Sean, what a game.
Well, it's a great pace, Eddie, and of course semi-final football, there's plenty of pressure on, and I think we've seen both sides make errors that you'd probably consider to be uncustomary, but it's going to be a case now of who can control the football, who can control the sets of six, and probably settle down and relax a little bit.
And what do you think of that last decision by the video ref?
Well, I saw it as well on the video, and I think it's a fair decision. But I must admit, the naked eye, you probably would have ruled the ball was out or the player was out, but that's been the advantage of technology, hasn't it? But Bradford will be happy, Wigan won't be.
Bradford will be happy at 16-14 up, but they have 10 minutes before half-time to hang on to this situation. Edwards is back on, so both sides now back to their full complement of players, because Edwards has come back on with the Bradford man who has sin-binned Graham Bradley. Here's Paul Medley. Gets away from Edwards. Oh, and such strength from Medley, and I think Jason Robinson is complaining that perhaps there was a use of a forearm there from Medley. Had a little word with the touch judge, and Twigamala just pats Paul Medley on the head.
Things getting excited out there again. Referee David Campbell has to keep a pretty close look on this. Plenty of mistakes from both sides, but more from the Wigan outfit late in this first half.
Lovely ball that was from Bradley to McDermott, and McDermott gives it to Henry Paul. The call was on his inside. There was a player there, but it went to the Wigan man.
Well, McDermott made a neat break down the middle. They're forcing the pass when it's not really needed. It's important, but both sides now keep their composure. Give away a silly penalty now. Really could just sway this first half.
8.5 minutes to the half-time bell. And it's 3-3 on the penalty count, so despite the fact that there's been so much going on in the opening 32 minutes or so here, penalty count's pretty low. Connolly. He hit that ball towards Ellison on the touchline, but all he did was find touch.
Not the best kick. The idea was there, but it was a little bit too flat. It could have gone into the corner more. He won't be happy with that, Gary Connolly. But I must say that the Wigan attack is not up to scratch at the moment. They're taking the ball flat-footed. It's all right having the silky skills of the likes of Henry Paul, but they need to have a bit of speed running onto the football.
Bradford playing risky business in their own quarter, and that's another ball from Dwyer into the arms of Cook. And Henry Paul gets the tackle in, as he did on Dwyer before Dwyer released the ball. There's Dwyer at dummy half. He gets away from Henry Paul this time, but can't evade Mike Cassidy. Now James Lowes. Straight up the middle from Lowes.
Good run from the hooker. Quick play of the ball, and that's where they're catching this defence.
Bradley, Graham Bradley, who would love to get to Old Trafford. Player of the month for July. Loughlin, formerly with St Helens, of course. Paul Loughlin needs One try for 100 in his career. What a place to get it here tonight. Now Robbie Paul, little kick through, but the gap was quickly closed down. Radlinski read it perfectly, and Paul Medley, he really does look like he is gritting his teeth to get Bradford to Old Trafford. There he is again, Paul Medley, with the tackle on Robinson.
Again, we saw some great defensive work by Chris Radlinski. His positioning at full-back was superb, anticipating the kick from Robbie Paul. This really has been a tough first half. The defence from the Bulls has been solid. They've only been caught out on a couple of occasions.
Long ball from Edwards to Henry Paul to try and open them up. Henry Paul gets the pass away, but straight to Loughlin.
Panic football again. They don't need to do this. There's only 2 points separates the sides. It isn't though Wigan are in a position where they really have to play catch-up football. Take gambles like that.
That's a terrific tackle from Henry Paul. Great tackle on Steve McNamara. McDermott, Paul is in there again. Henry Paul now playing like a man possessed. Lowe's from dummy half.
Great work there. Lowe's really did make contact there with Skerritt. Skerritt's walking around dazed.
Robbie Paul looks for Tamani.
The chance was there as well. Robbie Paul had seen an opening. Long ball out wide. Tamani on it to take this, and it was away. Twigamala was slow to come out wide. It was not the best pass for Tamani.
There was a knock-on on either side, so the referee puts the scrum down and will play the first knock-on. Edwards with head and feed. Edwards now doesn't make any progress with Matt Callan stood in front of him. Farrell to Henry Paul, and that was Radlinski. This now is Connolly. Connolly keeps the movement going back to his full-back. Radlinski's off. Medley again with a crucial tackle. Hall to Skerritt. Skerritt unloads the pass to O'Connor as he fell. O'Connor, Medley made the tackle on Skerritt, got up and made the tackle on O'Connor.
Tremendous defence. They're forcing Wigan backwards. Good run from Cassidy. Probably the first good run we've seen. But it was a great tackle there by McDermott.
This is Edwards. Edwards! Another good tackle needed, and Lowe's came up with it. They've made 42 metres on this set of 5 tackles. This is the last one. Henry Paul dabs the ball into open space. Paul Cook's after it, and Paul Cook tidies up the danger. Radlinski gets to him first and pulls him down.
Well, I thought Bradford may have a bit of a problem when the fact that Stuart Spruce was omitted from this side through injury. But Paul Cook really has done very well indeed. It wasn't the best kick downfield, but his positional play has been outstanding.
Bernard Dwyer took a knock then. Bradford still in possession. This is Doniger. He's standing in the tackle, looking for someone to come and take the pass off him. No one was there. Here's Bradley. 3.5 minutes to half-time, Steve-O, and this is the danger time for opposition playing Wigan, normally.
Twigamala gets a knock in the face there. This really has been played at a hectic pace. There's little doubt in my mind that fitness will tell. The last 15 minutes of this match, that's when the game will probably be won.
Good defence from Wigan. They've restricted Bradford to 26 metres, and the kick from Paul Cook, not good, but he was lucky that the ball bounced and evaded Ellison. Now he's picked it up, and Ellison comes back inside, and Robbie Paul has followed up and turned a pretty mediocre kick into an excellent kick. The kick downfield from Connolly. Edwards is offside, but Connolly isn't. Connolly picks up the tackle from Scales. The ball bounces. Edwards gets the try. The try is given. Originally, Edwards was standing miles offside, and the referee said, "Don't touch it, Sean." Connolly moved up, put him onside. Ball came free, and Edwards gets his second. Try's given.
Well, I put the mocker on the full-back, Paul Cook. I said his positional play has been outstanding, but where is he on this occasion? He was up in the one line. It was wonderful thinking by Connolly. Tries to get the ball away, and it comes off a Bradford player and bounces superbly for Edwards. Kick downfield, no one at home. Edwards is offside, he knows it. But soon as Connolly went in front, Edwards is automatically put onside. It bounced off the Bradford player. Scales went low. Bradley, it comes off his knee. He desperately goes for it. It just pops up oh so nicely. Thank you very much. One of the simplest tries that Shaun Edwards may have scored for his club Wigan, but probably one of the most vital.
Well, every time we see Wigan, the danger zone for the opposition is just before the half-time siren. And they've come up with the goods again. Now Andrew Farrell out there, the left-footed kicker. The right side of the field for him. He grazed one in off the post earlier. It's another sensational kick from Farrell. Wigan, having been 2 points down as the half-time siren goes, are now 4 points ahead. Wigan 20, Bradford Bulls 16 at half-time. A breathtaking first 40 minutes of rugby league action here in the Premiership semi-final. Edwards with 2 tries. Radlinski has had a near faultless day at fullback, but Bradford have broken through on 3 occasions to score great tries. These players deserve their half-time break. Shaun Edwards knows that he's 40 minutes away from yet another final, but Bradford have got a big say in this. Is this the crucial moment of this match? Connolly tried to get the pass away. It bounced off the Bradford players, and Shaun Edwards said, thanks, we'll have the half-time lead.
September on Sky.
Why me?
Sean Connery, Just Cause.
Jodie Foster and Liam Neeson, now.
Out of the Sea and Into Your Heart.
Andre.
We're gonna put television on trial.
Ray Fiennes stars in Quiz Show.
Beatty and Benning, Love Affair.
The vacation's over for Meryl Streep, The River Wild.
I could have anybody and I picked you.
Douglas and more, Disclosure.
September movies on Sky.
I love that.
Scoring goals can really give you an appetite. So what better than to get your teeth into some burgers? Quorn burgers. Quorn burgers are a tasty alternative to meat and very healthy. They're low in fat and a good source of protein. And just like other burgers, you can eat them any way you want to. So get on the ball. Get burgers and bangers from Quorn. Quorn, a happy partnership of taste and health.
Oh, we are looking sporty this morning.
Yes, Catherine wants me to play her brother. She thought he'd benefit from my expertise.
Hang on a minute. From the look of that racket, you haven't played in years.
Yeah, but a real sportsman never loses his touch.
It was good of you to let him win.
That's always been your problem. Generous to a fault.
The new Renault Megane, from £9,995 on the road. It talks your language.
Should I have a 3 or 5 We'll just ask him. Did you see Charles at the weekend?
Yes. Played 18 holes at Wood Park. Swab, please.
Ah, this looks more complicated than we thought.
Yes. We're going to be seeing rather a lot of this chap.
I hope he's got an understanding boss. Did you win?
Yes. It's close until the 30th.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Let's face the music and dance.
How's he doing?
He's comfortable.
You needn't worry if your life changes. Allied Dunbar financial plans adapt to help you cope with the unexpected. Allied Dunbar, for the life you don't yet know.
Happy families, happy friends. With BT's Friends and Family scheme, you save 10% on all the calls you make to the 5 people who mean most to you. You could choose Granny, and your mate Susan, John at college, and Uncle Dan in Sydney. And don't forget the old man on his mobile. Call 0800 05 55 55 now and get 10% off your 5 favourite numbers. It don't cost you a penny. You can't lose. Oh.
What a great game this is turning into. Wigan 20, Bradford 16. 3 tries apiece. Absolutely fabulous. Now, if you want to be at Old Trafford, courtesy of Sky Sports, get a pen and paper handy because we've got a special competition coming up for you during this half-time break. But in the meantime, let us, while you get your pens and papers sorted, let's talk to Sean McRae, the coach of St Helens, the League and Cup double winners, of course. After this Premiership trophy, as everybody else in the game involved just now is, what a fabulous first half.
Oh, tremendous 40 minutes of rugby league. I mean, if you're not involved in either club, you'd call that a spectacle. If you're involved, I think you'd be having palpitations at the moment. But I think both coaches would be concerned at the number of turnovers. The inability for both sides to complete their sets of 6 would have to be worrying. And I really feel the side that comes out in the second half and does control the football will win this ball game. I really felt Wigan would blow Bradford away, but you know, I'm happy to eat humble pie if that's going to be the case. But the thing is that semi-final football is all about applying pressure, but also absorbing pressure. And what we're seeing out there is a little bit of both from both sides, and that's why the game's so close. The scoreline's high because of the turnover factor, and that's providing a great spectacle. And it really is a tremendous game. And I'd have to say, with 40 minutes to play, this game could go either way.
Well, it could go either way. And we made the point in commentary just before half-time, Wigan are so dangerous, even when the opposition's got the ball.
Well, great vision by Gary Connolly there, and again, it's come from a poor kick. Wigan applied pressure down on Bradford's try line, came for a relatively poor kick, and Gary Connolly just had great vision and finished it off superbly. And it's typical of what Wigan can do. And they're the sort of side. I mean, you're never ever safe. They're always going to be in the game. But so are Bradford, so are St Helens. We're all those type of teams. We can score at any time, we can score from any part of the field, and that's why you can't afford to relax defensively at any time.
Well, you can't afford to relax defensively, and what Sean is saying, I think, is that we have got a wonderful second half still to come for you. And everyone, of course, involved in the Premiership semi-finals this weekend wants to get to Old Trafford, and you could be there, courtesy of Sky Sports, if you can pick out the try of the season. See if you can decide which of these 6 is the best. Watch closely. Now, here's your chance to attend the Old Trafford Stones Premiership final as a VIP guest of the Sky Sports Super League team. All you have to do is decide which of the 6 tries coming up was the best score during this summer, and you could win one of 5 pair of VIP passes to the big day. And we're giving 10 pairs of match tickets away to the runners-up. So, pens and paper at the ready. Watch closely. That's a lovely ball. Newlove's through the gap. Paul Newlove is being tracked by Connolly. Paul Newlove against Connolly. Paul Newlove gets there! What a fantastic try from the world's most expensive player. Broncos now trying to inject a little bit of pace with Barwick. And Barwick's through the gap. Haaland missed him completely. And he's now got to take on Flowers. Does so and scores. Munro. Crook. Long pass. Aitchison. Hunt came for the intercept. Aitchison still. Straight into the arms of Hunt. I rather fancy there was a call there. Hunt isn't hanging round anyway. It's going to be a try for Hunt. Put those glasses down. Hunt's in under the posts. That rounds off this night for St Helens. This is great news for Wales and wonderful news for Iestyn Harris. That's the hat-trick. Ketridge to Tuilangi. Tuilangi tries to cut inside Borden. Ikoku, he's tackled. Gets the ball away. Rowley tips it back on the inside. And again, they keep the movement going. Ketridge, and again. Good quick hands, good stuff. Oh, terrific. Schuster, Bentley's out wide. Bentley cuts inside. 3 in support. Brilliant try. What a try from Bentley. So, those tries again. Try A, Paul Newlove of St Helens. Try B, Greg Barwick of the Broncos. Try C, Alan Hunt of St Helens. Try D, Iestyn Harris of Warrington. Try E, Kevin Iro from Leeds. And try F, John Bentley of the Halifax Blue Sox. Pick your top try and send your entry on a postcard to the usual address. Sky Sports, P.O. Box 6, Centaurs Park, Grantway, Isleworth, Middlesex, TW7 5QQ. See you at the gate.
Yes, we'll see you there at Old Trafford next week, but it's going to be a difficult job picking the best of those 6. It's going to be a difficult job for either Wigan or Bradford to get there. Sean McRae, you've said before the match, Wigan to blow Bradford apart. Still of the same opinion?
I might change it to not blowing them apart. I still think they'll win because of the home ground advantage, and I still think they'll just have a little bit too much experience at the end of the game.
Well, it's a tremendous 40 minutes that we've got for you. Semi-final football, sudden death, and it all hinges now on the next 40 minutes. Just a 4-point lead that the champions have. Bradford would have loved a little lead, but as it is, it falls Wigan's way. And who's for Old Trafford? Find out in the next 40 minutes.
You know how your family pickies never seem to come out right? Well, tomorrow's News of the World will change all that. You can get a free family portrait worth £50 taken by a local professional photographer. Starting in tomorrow's News of the World.
The gossip, the pics, the skip, the scam, the views, the news of the world.
It's the last few days of Curry's biggest ever sale. This AEG auto washer with interest-free credit saves £60. Only Curry's bring you all this.
Can seriously damaged hair ever look this healthy? It can, even if it's so weak it breaks. With Pantene Strengthening Serum. Spray it on.
Provitamin B5 penetrates as fortifying ingredients strengthen and build new structure all the way to the tip.
My hair is strong and shines again.
Pantene Intensive Strengthening Serum for hair that looks so healthy it shines.
There is a way back to strong, healthy-looking hair.
All the washing and brushing in the world won't give your dog a good coat if you don't feed him the right food. I feed Pedigree Chum, and you can see the reasons why. This new chicken and sunflower oil is Clifford's favourite.
Thanks to our vets and nutritionists at Waltham, the world's leading authority on pet care and nutrition, everything dogs need for a healthy coat, they get from Pedigree Chum.
It's so full of meat, they love it. At the end of the day, dogs will be dogs, so the coats don't stay immaculate for long.
Pedigree Chum. Top breeders recommend it.
How would you like the Disney Channel for free?
Come again. I don't understand.
From this Sunday, for 3 days, you can tune into the Disney Channel for free.
I get it.
There's movies.
Gee, that sounds great.
Sneak previews.
That is better than great.
Brand new cartoons.
You're talking about me?
And a whole 3 days of great programs.
Good answer.
The big free-for-all on the channel that's sending everybody...
Disney! Can't wait, can't wait.
In 1899,
Montana was an unspoiled wilderness, a place where a man could put aside the cares of civilization and discover his true self in the sanctity of nature. At least, that's how it used to be, till something better came along. Smooth-tasting Heineken Export, the world's favorite import, introduced to America in 1894.
I'm gonna retire a legend, supreme. I already know that I'm the best fighter Britain's ever produced. I want to go down in the history books as Prince Nassim Hamid, the best fighter ever lived. I refuse to lose. Refuse to lose.
Nassim Hamid, Manuel Medina, tonight at 9 on Sky Sports 1.
"75 hours of live sport in just 2 days this weekend here on Sky, and they will have to go some to beat this. The fair at Central Park, absolutely magnificent. It's Bradford who will kick off, trailing by 4 points, start of this second 40 minutes, and Old Trafford, the big prize awaiting these two sides. And you do get the feeling, Steve-O, that the Bulls have to be the first side to score in this second half to have any sort of chance.
I'm sure that their coach, Brian Smith, would have told them exactly that, but just keep at it, make sure that their defence is solid. We're also catching Wigan out on that blind side when they were in attack. And I'm sure that Graham West, the Wigan coach, would have also said to his two halfbacks, Henry Paul and Sean Edwards, to start combining. I don't think I've ever seen Henry Paul as quiet in a Super League game for quite some time.
This is Robinson, he gives the ball to Twiggamala, and Twiggamala tried to get Bernard Dwyer out of the way, and credit Bernard Dwyer, he stood his ground, but Wigan still have the ball with Connolly. Another chip over the top, well read by Paul Cook. He evades the tackle from Henry Paul and sets off. That's a great run for the zero tackle.
Just a little bit too long from Connolly. Cook in the right position this time. And again, we saw that Henry Paul, usually a very strong tackler, he missed his man again. Well, will we see the real strength of Henry Paul come to the fore late in this game? Remember, I said before the half-time break, it probably will go down to fitness. What a game this guy's having. Robbie Paul is in control at the moment.
Tackled by his brother Henry. It's Bradford in control of the football. This now is Tamani, and Tamani's been doing this all night. First of all, early on, from great runs from defence, now he has pushed Bradford Bulls forward on attack. And this is Doniger. Doniger is held up by Hall and by Kelvin Skerrett. Last tackle, they've made 55 metres. It's with McNamara. This now is Bradley. Bradley's got support from Lowe's. Lowe's looking out wide. It's a terrible pass. It's an awful pass. And Bradford have blown the big opportunity.
Tremendous build-up. Lowe's had a man on the inside, and he throws the worst pass of the night. Over the top of Calland. Tamani couldn't bend down for it. It trickles into touch. The pressure is off. They did oh so well. Bradley making that burst again down that blind side.
And Medley, Steve-O, was coming in on the inside. He would have been over under the posts. As it is, Wigan escape, and they launch with Andy Farrell. Edwards is there, Robinson's there, the kick forward. It's a race between Robbie Paul and Sean Edwards. Edwards gets it. Edwards gets the try for mine. And the try's given. It's a hat-trick for Sean Edwards. He's done it again. Sean Edwards chased the long kick downfield. He's supposed to have a knee injury. He beat Robbie Paul to the punch.
Tremendous play, and what a run by Andrew Farrell. He really did step on it, and he could see that Sean Edwards, as always, racing down. You would not have put money on the old stager. Sean Edwards, he gets there, there's little doubt. No need for the screen here. On this occasion, it's Bradford who's caught on the blind side. The big fella puts the kick in through. Sean Edwards, never say die. Hat-trick time. No need for the technology on this occasion. It was planted down. It winded him as his body rolled over the top of the football, but what a tremendous try. They were under pressure, Bradford. They missed the tackle. Tremendous stuff.
His first hat-trick in 2 years, and Twigamala in trouble. He's limping back towards the halfway line, but he's obviously in some distress. And Farrell, with 4 from 4, is poised here for another 2 points for the Wigan cause. He's missed the first one of the night, and one of the most easy for him. 24-16, 8 points the gap now.
4 defenders on 1, you have to close him down. They went far too high. The big fella knew he didn't have the legs, but Sean Edwards did. Tremendous finish. Determination there. He wanted that more than anyone else at Central Park. Well, the way that things can turn. Wigan looked as though they were gone there. Beautiful ball out wide, and they made a meal of it, Bradford. Missed their opportunity, Eddie, but Wigan, to their credit, they just bounce back, don't they?
They do, and they've made changes. Simon Horton has gone off for Wigan. He is in the blood bin. He's been replaced by Barrow, Steve Barrow. And you might have noticed also that Bradford have made a change. Glenn Tomlinson is on for Bernard Dwyer. Twigamala, who looked in real pain and problems, he stays on the field. This is James Lowe's, 5.5 minutes, second half gone. And Edwards now running around like a 2-year-old, isn't he? Well, you take nothing away from Sean Edwards. In trouble with the referee early on, fair enough. Took his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Rattled Robbie Paul, or tried to, but he's bounced back and he's got 3 tries. And here goes Connolly. Connolly down the touchline, in and out, beats Paul. Support is there, and it was Radlinski who was clattered by Medley, but only on the second tackle. Wigan starting to turn the screw. Edwards, Paul, misses out Farrell, finds instead Mick Cassidy. Twigamala, the dummy half, into the arms of Farrell. Farrell spinning. Lowe's gets the tackle in. Hall, dummy half, looks for the runner, it's O'Connor. He gives it back to Edwards. Edwards to Connolly. Radlinski is in space here. Connolly decides instead to give it to Ellison, and Ellison goes through them. Second try for Wigan at the start of this second half. 6th Super League try for Danny Ellison. He came back on the inside, and Connolly set him up superbly.
Put this down to Gary Connolly. It was a beautiful run on that short side. Ball back on, he throws the dummy on the first time. Superb stuff. Ellison finishes. Tremendous. This is a break from Connolly. He just stood them up. Went right on the outside there of John Scales. Poetry in motion. It was a good tackle from Medley, but from this point, out wide, Connolly again, just teasing the defence. Dummy back, unselfish running on the inside, but this occasion Ellison takes the football. They have blitzed the Bulls, going far too high. Dummy first time, not on the second occasion. Ellison came at the right moment. Great moment for Ellison, the winger.
2 tries in 3 minutes created by the man that Will Carling has dubbed the best centre three-quarter in British rugby, Gary Connolly. And for once, as Ellison celebrates his try, for once Steve-O and I will not dispute the words of Will Carling. Gary Connolly is a brilliant, brilliant player.
For once.
First time, isn't it? Farrell now 4 from 5. Big kick this. Could really break the Bulls' hearts. He's missed another. The Bulls still have hope then, but it's gradually becoming a distant dream, Old Trafford.
Bradlinski, the dummy, back on the inside, and Connolly chooses the second one. Superb rugby league football. Well finished though by the youngster. He positioned himself well.
So 48.5 minutes gone, and Wigan have hit Bradford Bulls with those 2 tries in 3 minutes, and at the moment they are 1 step up Sir Matt Busby way on the way to Old Trafford.
Well, it must be going through the mind of the Bradford Bulls coach Brian Smith what might have been. It was great approach work by the Bulls to apply the pressure early in the second half. Lowe's made the break. Bradley set him up for it. It was an awful pass. They really should have scored. They had the opportunity, and they've allowed Wigan to come back and blitz them with 2 great tries.
Well followed up by John Scales for the 0 tackle on Radlinski. Scales in there again to haul the try scorer. Danny Ellison down, and Scales is hurt.
I think he got a stray finger in the face there when he was trying to drag the Wigan player to the ground. Well, has he pulled the shoulder out or something?
Well, he's clutching the wrist. Obviously got a problem.
Well, he grabs hold of it there, and then as he pulls there, you can see he brings the right arm off very, very quickly.
Edwards again gets the pass away to Cassidy. Cassidy with Doniger just pops the ball down on the floor, picked up quickly by Paul. This is Twigamala. Twigamala back on the inside to Robinson. Robinson scampering. Henry Paul following up. Henry Paul gets a brilliant try. Magnificent Wigan try, and scored by Henry Paul. It's suddenly gone all wrong for Bradford, but it's gone so right for Wigan.
The sleeping Kiwi, he awakes. Farrell, beautiful pass, round the man Edwards. Then you see Cassidy join in. They get away with it, but Paul's hanging around. Twigamala throws the dummy back on the inside. Look at this rugby league football from Jason Robinson. Second effort from Paul. That is an exceptional try. The passing, the support play is outstanding. Positional play. Okay, little bit of luck on that occasion, but what tremendous centre play by Twigamala. Who can stop this man? Not many. Outstanding.
A quite brilliant try from Henry Paul, and that could be the moment that Wigan clinch their place at Old Trafford. What a try. And now Farrell with 4 out of 6 successes. And that's 4 out of 7. So Farrell not kicking terribly well, but Wigan have added 3 tries at the start of this second half, and they've taken the game by the scruff of the neck.
They just can't get anywhere near this man, Jason Robinson. He's had a fine season, so has this youngster as well. Skills are plenty. Determination on show there. The ball carrying arm didn't touch the ground. Fair try. Good positioning by David Campbell, the referee, too.
32-16, and when you think, had Bradford got over for that try at the start of this second half, how different a story we might be telling now.
And add to that the fact that Wigan scored right on the death of the first half. Changed the complexion of this match.
Nathan Graham has come on for the Bradford Bulls in place of John Scales. They're not going to throw the towel in, Bradford, not with men like Medley out there and this fellow Lowe's, who will want to atone for that error. But Wigan now have got the bit between their teeth. Coming next on Sky Sports 1, we have the big boxing, Prince Nassim Hamed against Manuel Medina. Meanwhile, this is Tamani, but the ball has come into the arms of Twigamala. Twigamala's off. He was injured not long ago. Look at him go. He's still going. Support there from Edwards. It bounced just in front of him. Not the best pass. Edwards couldn't bend down and pick it up.
He ran out of steam to Twigamala. Well, what a tremendous run by the big centre. Another chance by Bradford. Tamani had the ball released away from him. Picked up by the big fella. Simple dummy. 3 go past him. Wasn't the best pass in the end. Well, what a turnaround of events. The second half, Wigan on the rack for the opening minutes. But as you say, the Bulls have played some attractive football all throughout this Super League season. They will not give in.
Just 28 metres made on this particular set. Graham will hoist the bomb. Robbie Paul's after it, but Radlinski is there. Radlinski was protected then by Henry Paul, and brother Robbie couldn't get through him.
Good work by Paul. He's had a fine game as the full-back, Radlinski. He's off again.
Robinson. Oh, he gets the ball away. Paul can only stab it forward, though. And it's well picked up by Matt Calland, who releases the pass. And here goes Paul Cook. But Robinson's there to bring him down.
Tremendous work by the big centre, Matt Calland. He got back in time. Not only that, released the football. Well, that'll be a penalty. Silly play there by Skerritt. Just hit the winger Tamani down. Crunch time.
Penalty given. Lachlan finds touch with the penalty. This
With a
relieves the
swinging
pressure.
arm.
Yeah. This relieves the pressure on Bradford. They'll be glad of that. It's been almost non-stop, hasn't it? They must have thought that Wigan have come out with the kitchen sink. Here they come, though, Bradford, with Nathan Graham. Bradford well ahead in terms of possession in this second half, but the ball has been kicked off to them 3 times.
Well, will we see the skills now of Steve McNamara? They've shut him down well.
Doniger picks up the pass from James Lowes. This is Tomlinson, just pops the pass up to Bradley. Bradley back to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul, one of those typical dancing runs of his. Is he in? Is he out? Did Henry get the hand under the ball? Is it a try? Is it no try? I think here's a decision for the video ref.
I think he got it down right on the line. And then his brother came underneath and lifted the ball away, but I think Henry Paul was just a fraction too late. Squeezes down. Just short. The impact where the ball hit the ground was just short. Did the momentum take him over? Watch for the right arm from Henry Paul go underneath. That is a difficult one. Did the momentum? That is the key. He hits the ground before the whitewash. Bang, there. But did the momentum take it over? It's a difficult one.
No sign of a double movement from Robbie Paul.
Well, you can see his brother grabs the arm across. It's Henry that's moving the ball across with his knee and the arm.
But Robbie's got full control. Oh, it's a tough one to call. Everyone's just waiting and they're all looking at the big screen from the far side. The try's given. Robbie Paul gets his second try of the match. Henry Paul did his best to deny the younger brother, and it's his 20th try of the season. Does that signal the fight back?
Well, he deserved that. Good play as well, back on the inside. Good work by Glenn Tomlinson. Robbie Paul, they held off him. You can see the stepping run there. And despite the efforts from the older brother, Robbie Paul planks the 4.
So McNamara from bang in front. Gets the extras. Bradford back to within 10 points. It's not over yet.
Tremendous effort. Many a side would throw in the towel. Good work by the substitute Tomlinson. Bradley did well to keep it alive. And look at the skills here. From a standing start, spinning around like a ballerina.
The kick-off didn't make the 10 metres into the Wigan half of the field. So it's a penalty to Wigan on the halfway line. That's a blunder. What a basic schoolboy's error.
Well, it was worth the effort. They are playing catch-up football, but it was not the best attempt, was it? Needed an extra 2 yards.
Plenty of time, though, for Bradford in this match. 23 minutes left. 10 points the gap. And if it does end up level at the end of this match, we get 10 minutes each way of extra time. If it's still level, we go for 10-minute periods of extra time until we find the winner.
There's still a long way to go.
Miles
still got
yet.
time for
miles of time.
The Bulls to get into it, but first they must tackle for their life now.
Brian Smith knows that 10 points is nothing in the modern game, but they'll have to defend stoutly, and that's what they're doing against the run from Steve Barrow. Edwards, ball back on the inside to Cassidy. Cassidy slips one. Cassidy! Cassidy! Held up on his back, no doubts about that. And was he just short of the line?
And he was on the last.
He's on the last tackle anyway.
Yeah, great defence there. They did everything in their power to keep him up.
And he was short of the line. That's why it's the turnover. Had he been over the try line, would have been head and feet at the scrum to Wigan. Great defence from Bradford. It was needed.
Never say die attitude now from the Bradford Bulls.
Moving off the mark, penalty against Wigan. O'Connor and Cassidy, the culprits.
Once again, quick play the ball. James Lowe's really has had an outstanding game tonight. Wonderful season too. He's certainly been one of the stars of Super League. Really has come on a bundle when he joined Bradford from Leeds. Different character. Great attacking player, does his work in defence too.
This is Medley now. Grounded by Hall and Twigamala. Lowe's into the arms of Tomlinson. Tomlinson trying to straighten them up. Donegal was dummy half. McDermott. British Lions tourist McDermott with runs like that, no wonder. Gets the pass away to Robbie Paul. Danger every time he gets it. Great tackle from Twigamala.
It had to be as well. Twigamala could see that Paul was away. There's still pressure for Wigan.
Tomlinson gets the ball back inside, and Robbie Paul again is tackled by Twigamala. 59 metres made, they're 2 metres short. McNamara out wide, Bradley will get the try. Graham Bradley's got the try for Bradford. They're back in this. Wigan thought they were home and hosed, but Bradley's second try gives the Bulls hope. Tremendous try created by Robbie Paul and scored in the end by Bradley.
The beautiful run by McDermott put him to this position. McNamara, you can see, spun the ball out wide. There were 3 Wigan defenders there. And the big fella, Graham Bradley, who's had such an influence this season on the Bradford Bulls. They went in far too tight. And the big Australian just brushes away Robinson. What a fight back. But this was the run that set him. This was a good effort. They went far too high. Eventually slips the ball to Paul. It was Twigamala that came to the rescue, but there was more to come.
McNamara now, this is a vital kick. This is a vital kick. He's hit the post again. That's the second time tonight that the woodworkers denied Steve McNamara. 6 points the gap, a converted try, and Bradford would be level. A game that looked in danger of running away from them is back in their court again.
Well, we said that the loose forward, Steve McNamara, had been quiet, but it was a wonderful pass out wide. Well, a big standoff, Graham Bradley. Brings back a little bit of hope into this wonderful game. For all the world, it looked as though Wigan had taken full control.
Here's Cassidy. Cassidy breaks one. Robbie Paul hangs on to him and hauls him down. That was a crucial tackle from the Bradford captain. Steve Barrow's gone off Simon Horton's return from the blood bin. Farrell, meanwhile, drives the ball up the middle for Wigan. Here's Kelvin Skerritt, former Bradford player, of course, Skerritt. This probably his last season. He's going to concentrate on his business interests after this, so the rumour goes. He would love to bow out at Old Trafford. Bradford would love to send Brian Smith home with Old Trafford. Henry Paul with the clip forward. Spilled, and the referee wipes the tackle count down and hands it on to Bradford. Surely that was a knock-on.
Well, it looked it. They made a real meal of it. The chip over the top from Paul. Paul took a dive. Well, he scoops it in. There's a winger, Tamani. Well, that could really change the game. Brian Smith sending the orders down. He knows that they're back in this. Wigan missed a great opportunity there to drive underneath the sticks and go for that 1 point. So vital.
Here's Medley. Medley got away from Henry Paul, got away from Kelvin Skerritt, couldn't get away from Simon Horton. This is James Lowe as he gets the ball back on the inside to Tamani. Tamani on the run. They're streaming up. They might go. And there's a hand in there from offside.
Offside
against Radlinski. There was a hand there from Robinson. It bounced back and Radlinski dropped on it.
Bradley wants to get on with it. Don't take the two. They've got to run as quick as they can. Oh, they're deliberating whether to take the two. Why on earth they didn't go for the quick one? The Wigan defence is back now. It's set. They were still coming back. Confusion reigns in the Bradford Bulls camp.
What a run from Tamani. It looked all the world like a try. Radlinski got a hand to it. Robinson touched it, offside, penalty. They're running it. And they're running it here with Bradley. But Henry Paul has stopped the run. They've suddenly lost the momentum.
But why on earth did it stand around? They should have gone on with it. There was 5 or 6 Wigan players were coming back into the defence.
This is Medley, and he plays the ball to Lowe's, to Tomlinson. Tomlinson tries to apply the brakes. Good defence from O'Connor. That's how close Bradford are. Lowe's to Medley. Medley trying to go over in the corner again. Smothering defence from Terry O'Connor and Simon Horton. Tamani to Tomlinson. Tomlinson dribbling it through. Tomlinson, and Tomlinson gets the touchdown. Tomlinson scores the try. Well, it looked like they'd blown their opportunity, but Glenn Tomlinson came up with soccer skills and got a hand to it and touchdown.
How many times have we seen a super sub bring out the best? He was held back there by Paul, but still got the fingers spread. Wonderful play by Tomlinson. He threw the dummy, and this is where he was hampered by Paul. He could have been penalised, Henry Paul. It didn't matter. He played on to the referee, David Campbell. What a game. This was the run. The penalty came, they're back there. Robinson got the knock on. He was offside. The fullback Radlinski was in front, but they made a real meal of it, but they've come up trumps.
This is a big kick again for McNamara. The scores are level. 32 points apiece. Suddenly the game ball swings in Bradford's favour.
Wigan will be ruining the fact they didn't go for the 1 point when they had the 6-point lead. Tremendous play there by Tomlinson. He will remember this try for the rest of his life. The worry is etched on the face of Graham West. He knows they have blown the opportunity to go for that 1 point, the drop goal. And the man that sat at the side of him is a man who has been one of the best drop goal kickers in the world, Joe Lydon.
Well, the kick-off was again far too shallow. Doniger got to it, he caught it before, and you can see that clearly. Caught it before the 10-metre line. Brian Smith, the Bradford coach, has seen his team come back and score 3 tries in 8 minutes.
But he won't be happy with that. Why on earth did they take a short one when they were level on the scoreboard? It's not catch-up football now. A deep kick into the corner, apply the pressure to Wigan, and maybe the mistake would have been forthcoming.
I was going to say Wigan had scored 3 tries in 8 minutes earlier in the second half. But Steve-O had to make his point, and make it he has. Wigan in front of the posts. Henry Paul again. A flash of brilliance from either side could change this match. Cassidy trying to provide it. Doniger with the big tackle. They're bang in front of the sticks. It's back to Farrell, drop goal attempt. He's missed it. He's pushed it wide.
They can't believe it. He gave himself plenty of room, plenty of time. It just goes to the left. What a fight back. And put it down to this man. It was the run from Joe Tamani. He really did blitz through the Wigan defence.
This is James Lowe's at dummy half, and now Lachlan. Good tackle on him by Andy Farrell. James Lowe's at dummy half to Tomlinson. It's now with McNamara. Tomlinson takes over again. It wasn't the best pass. He missed out Medley, but he's found Tamani again. And this fellow has found something extra special. We're locked up with 67.5 minutes gone at 32 points all. And Bradford, Steve-O, look the stronger.
They're playing the ball a lot quicker. They're being the most adventurous.
And here they go again with Callan. Callan tips the ball over the top. That's forward. Referee will bring them back. It was on the last. It's the turnover. Callan tried to keep it alive.
They would have been better suited to set up for the kick. Callan's pass forward anyway. Tense moments, tense times. Shaun Edwards knows he's been here and there. He's had the pressure for years. He'll be trying to keep a cool head of his side. So will the skipper, Andrew Farrell.
And Graham West and Joe Lydon getting their messages out to their team. Brian Smith getting his messages out to his. It is a coach's nightmare. It's a supporter's dream. And it's a tremendous game. 32 points all. And we have 11.5 minutes left for play. 32 points apiece. Twiggamala's off on his way. No support. The tackle from Tomlinson. Henry Paul from dummy half scampers away. Slips under the pressure from Tamani.
Tamani looked relieved there that Paul slipped. What a finish to this game.
How did Robinson hang on to that? Paul into the corner. It's a try. Edwards has got 4. Unbelievable. Shaun Edwards has come up with 4 tries in a semi-final.
Tremendous effort. Back on the inside. Robinson, how did he take it? Back out to Paul. He puts it through. Edwards gets there. Was he offside, Edwards? The Bradford players were looking. They're appealing. It was a beautiful, deft little chip through. Paul looks on. Edwards. He lets it get over. Tremendous try. Was Edwards in front of the man when it was kicked? Oh, it's close. 50-50 either way. The try will be given. He just never gives in, this man. Talk about a point to prove. 1, 2, 3, 4. No noddies now. He knows that could have won the game.
4 tries for Shaun Edwards. Not long ago, his position here at Wigan was under threat. Graham West, Joe Lydon and the board managed to persuade Edwards his future lies here at Central Park, and he's come up with the goods again for them tonight. Brian Smith watching anxiously on as Andy Farrell lines up this kick to give Wigan a 6-point lead. What a time to kick a goal like that. Wigan start to breathe again, but it's 38-32. And Bradford are still not finished.
We've held the ball as it's just released there, and you can see that Edwards was just onside. He held back, the experience showing. What a tremendous finish to this game, but it's not done yet.
It isn't, because Wigan have kicked off and the ball sailed out on the full. It's a penalty now to Bradford on halfway.
And remember, we've just got less than 10 minutes. It's not in the dying moments. There's a lot of football left in this match. It's going to be all down to composure, down to the fitness. How much oxygen can they just get back into their bodies? Bradford need that second effort.
Well, they've come up with second effort, they've come up with third effort, fourth effort and fifth effort all night. Remember, this match coming at the end of a long season. Bradford with a lot more in terms of possession and fighting, and not finished yet with Bradley battling for their premiership lives. Lowe's the dummy half. This is McDermott. McDermott drives it in towards the posts. They're fighting for a place in that. The Premiership final next Sunday. You can watch it exclusively with us on Sky Sports. Tomlinson trying to weave more magic. Tomlinson keeping going, and suddenly the door closed.
He was looking for the second runner, there was none to be there. One went through, he threw the dummy.
Medley dabs it through, it bounces to Bradley, and Bradley, has he got it down? Has Bradley got it down? Oh, another decision. Uh-oh, video referee, it's in your court again. Well, that picture that I was watching will tell no story. It's whatever other angle we've got.
This is one of them. Swinging round underneath. Redlinski gets his body. Robinson tries, but has the big Australian put Bradford back in this game? It's all so close. Redlinski's leg is underneath. It's probably a try. It rolls off Redlinski's knee.
This might tell us. This might give the definitive version.
She popped through. That's try time for mine.
Bradford think it is. Their supporters are celebrating.
It's quite clear that the ball definitely hit the ground.
Steve-O, as well as the try that could level this match again, this is Bradley's first hat-trick for Bradford that's on the line here. Indeed, the first in this country for Graham Bradley.
What a time to come up with it. Is that a fine game? Is that a fine season?
This is the biggest call of the Premiership semi-final. Here it is. He's given a try. The debate goes on between West and Leiden. The Bradford supporters, young and old, celebrate. And Brian Smith wants to know how long's to go.
Well, look at the pressure etched on their face. He's smiling, but I don't think you'll see a smile on the kicker, Steve McNamara. But good work again. Medley did well here. You see how it threw the dummy. It kicked him through the kick through. It bounced off a Wigan player. Well, the excitement's getting to me. Will it get to this guy?
Well,
I would not be in his shoes for quids. Central Park. Not many friends behind him. He will have to concentrate.
Well, he knows that this kick could be the difference between defeat and possible victory. He's a right-footed kicker. It's the wrong side of the field then for him. McNamara kicked a wonder goal off the touchline earlier. This is your moment. This is the moment again. Missed it. 38-36. A 2-point gap. Steve-O, we have had some action this season, haven't we? There's been some heart-stopping moments, and none greater than this.
Just got the lucky bounce, but Bradley, who I mentioned earlier, has had a fine season. Technology again has proved it right. Good run there by Steve Barrow, and that's what they need. Wigan need to just continually keep possession. Bradley swings the arm. Skerrett has a few words to say.
It's 7 tries apiece. It's down to the goal kicking. And at the moment, Andy Farrell has won a place in the final. But Bradford have got still over 5 minutes to go. 2 points the difference. Wigan now on the attack. This is Neil Cowie. He's got Connolly. Always danger when Connolly gets the ball. Connolly this time grounded. The tackle on him came in from Paul Medley. Drop goal from Henry Paul. And he swings it wide. That's 2 that Wigan have missed.
Well, he wasn't in a very good position. You could see that he was off balance virtually. He was running backwards and then had to move forward to take the football. Perhaps he would have been better served. Well, he's still got a smile on his face, with only 2 points the difference.
Here comes McDermott again. Wigan have a 2-point lead. We've got 5 minutes left to play, and Wigan defending for all they're worth. And they'll have to, and they do against Lachlan. Connolly's tackle helped out by Farrell. What a game, what a semi-final.
Will it be a twist and turn again? Will it be Robbie Paul? Will it be Henry Paul? So many stars out there. They have run themselves to a standstill, these players.
Bradford Bulls scored 32 points and still lost at Wembley. They've scored 36 points here at Central Park in the Premiership semi-final. They might still lose. They might win.
Good refereeing there by David Campbell. McNamara tried to milk a penalty. The kick through. He took a dive. The Academy Award was not forthcoming. Tension mounts.
Wigan in control again, and 4 minutes now to go. 2 points the difference. Who would be a Super League coach? Cassidy takes the tackle from Medley. It has been a wonderful confrontation. All that we hoped and more. Skerritt. Brian Smith. Is he 4 minutes away from his departure home to Australia? Robinson gets the pass to Edwards, an ankle tap on Edwards.
He's knocked on. He's lost the football.
That was a priceless ankle tap from Tomlinson. That was Edwards celebrating try number 5.
He just clipped his ankle. Knock on. There's pushing, there's argy-bargy going on. They're trying to get the scrum down. This is eating up the clock. Sean Edwards won't mind. He knows. He thought he was there. Tomlinson, the man who scored such a vital try, now comes up with a ankle tap.
Referee has penalised at Wigan for foot up in the scrum by Neil Cowie. Penalty to Bradford. Less than 3 minutes to go. Brian Smith knows his team are close, but not close enough. Wigan are still ahead, but Robbie Paul trying all he knows to get Bradford to Old Trafford.
Bradford just have to take the gamble now. They've got to try everything. They've got to keep this ball alive. One-out football like that is no good. The seconds are ticking away. Spinning the tackle.
Good pass from Tomlinson to Loughlin. Loughlin's taking them on. Oof, a mile forward from Loughlin to Nathan Graham, and the referee saw it.
Lack of control, lack of composure there from the experienced Loughlin. Calland a metre in front. Could that be the moment?
It has been an epic contest, and it has been a summer of epic contests, but perhaps this one just shades it for the time being. Farrell brilliantly off the floor. Support from Ellison. This will be Old Trafford for Wigan. Ellison will get the score, and Wigan are on the way to the Premiership final. Danny Ellison's second try surely seals it now. And the Premiership holders, they've looked rocky, they've looked as though they were on their way out at times, but they have bounced back and claimed a memorable win.
Beautiful play on the blind side. Farrell peels away from the scrum. Edwards back on the inside, and then out to the winger. Dally Ellison, the man who had to fill the boots of Martin Afire. Tremendous work on the blind side. It was a set move. Farrell back on the inside. The old stager sends the young man. The crowd are going bananas already. Ellison will remember this for a long, long time. It sent them to Old Trafford. Silverware could very well be on its way to Central Park in '96.
And that's how important it is to Graham West, who immediately leaves his eyrie here at Central Park and goes down to the dressing room to welcome his heroes back to the sanctuary of one of the smallest rooms in the house here at Central Park. It's a victory for Wigan, and Andy Farrell will try and add 2 more points here, and Bradford's marvellous effort in Super League will get no reward, even though Farrell has missed another kick. It's 42 points to 36.
You see how Wigan have wheeled the scrum round. The circle man is the loose forward of Bradford. But on the inside, trailing Farrell, is the master, Sean Edwards. He sends the youngster away. What a game. And what a finish. Full credit to both sides. They have served up absolute champagne football this season.
And Bradford aren't finished yet. They know this is the last throw of the dice for them. The tackle from Ellison. We're just now in the hands of the timekeepers. Here's Robbie Paul. Keeps the movement going to Graham. He spreads the pass out wide to Tomlinson. Tomlinson then gives it to Callan. Callan looks for support. This is Tomlinson again. Tomlinson on his way to the corner. Dabbed through. He's taken out in back play. Referee says play on, no try. Wigan hammer the ball dead. And that's it. That is it. The game is over and Wigan are at Old Trafford. And Brian Smith knows that his wonderful season in charge of Bradford Bulls will bring no reward. Sean Edwards, 4 tries, and he had a hand in the try that got the match winner for Danny Ellison. The Wigan supporters know they're on their way to Old Trafford again, but it has been a truly memorable night at Central Park, and memorable for those two. Henry and Robbie Paul embrace. What a game. What a contest. And Brian Smith heads home again without lifting a trophy. But he's left Bradford in good shape. But Wigan will go to Old Trafford for the Premiership final. And they will there meet either St Helens or London, who will do battle in our Sunday match here on Sky Sports. And if it's half as good as this, you will miss that match at your peril. Fantastic game, breathtaking, brilliant skills, entertainment par excellence. And Vainga Twigamala knows he's going to Old Trafford. And apparently the wristband is going to be a prized possession of Inga's nephew for years and years to come. Wigan are in the final then. Super game, and look what it means to Graham West and Wigan. 42-36.
The unpredictable.
This must be the place. Agent Mulder believes we are not alone.
The unthinkable.
Within a few hours, that parasite had total control. Oh my God. Mulder, you may not be who you are.
The unimaginable.
Nothing can prepare you for it. What kind of sick freak are you?
The unbelievable.
Come on again, I can feel it. Dwayne Barry is not what Mulder thinks he is.
The undeniable.
Nothing disappeared without a trace. My name is in those files.
Oh my God, Scully. What have they done?
The stars of the series introduce their favorite episodes.
The truth is out there.
These are the 5 X-Files that are The Chosen. A special presentation Sunday from 7 on the opening night of the new Sky 2.
Why didn't you tell me you were inviting them?
I wanted to surprise you.
Surprise me then.
I eat Aunt the pasta twice just because she is so nice, Angelina. Angelina, waits us at the pizzeria.
When you walk through the global village, make sure you carry a global currency. Over 200 million people in over 200 countries speak MasterCard.
Pizza delivery.
Back up.
Every language speaks MasterCard.
Super Trinitron wide. Be careful what you watch.
In case your guts they are not made of steel, we have the salts, Andrew's salts. See, it is the Andrew's fees that does the bees.
Principles for men, we know our clothes don't keep their looks, our customers won't come back.
Caroline Morgan, Director of Buying at Principles for Men, explains why Ariel is the only detergent they recommend.
When men are comfortable in something, they want to wear it all the time. Weekend after weekend, day after day. And it gets dirty, so it has to be washed. And more than the wearing, it's the washing that causes this bubbling, even on whites. We've found that there's a detergent that keeps clothes looking really great.
Ariel not only tackles mud and dirt, it also helps prevent bobbling.
We're so impressed with the results that we've seen. We want all our customers to know we recommend Ariel, because if our clothes look good, we look good.
When you demand the impeccable, demand Ariel.
Now I ask you, who'd want to miss all this? If you haven't joined BT's Friends and Family scheme, then you're going to miss out on BT's fantastic offer of between 10 and 30% off British Airways flights. So hurry. If you're not a Friends and Family member, call BT, join now, it's free, and they'll send you a voucher. The number is 0800 05 55 55. What are you waiting for? There's a drink in here somewhere.
Hi, love. Sorry, love. Duty calls. See the car? Almira. GTI. Let's go! Cover me! Huh? Go faster. I'm doing nearly 30. Naughty boy. Turn left. Why? Litter. Makes the car look good. Time do you call this? Sorry, Gov. Traffic was murder. We'll never meet professionals. Neither were they. The all-action Almira. Tell me about it.
Well, follow that. St Helens and London, a quite magnificent match in front of almost 10,000 here at Central Park and many, many thousands more around the country. A truly memorable occasion, and Wigan are through to their 5th Premiership final in a row. A tremendous effort, watched with Steve and me by Sean McRae, the coach of St Helens, League and Cup double winners. Well, follow that.
There wouldn't be too many sides score 36 points to get beat, would there?
Not really.
The game could have gone either way, and it was just an ounce of luck. Perhaps for Bradford they may have won it, but you've got to give Wigan credit. They hung in there and they scored tries when they had to. Perhaps they had to bounce the ball occasionally as well, but you make your own luck. Wigan did tonight. I think the home ground and the crowd got them home.
And I'm sure that you will hope that that will happen in your match against London. But Steve-O, he's not number one pin-up, but Sean Edwards, you can't take anything away from this fella.
No, he comes up with the tries that count, and he wanted to prove a point, and he certainly did it. I think it was the try that he scored in the corner when it was Paul that kicked the ball through. I thought perhaps he might have been offside, but the high shot proved that he wasn't. He was onside. He's just an experienced player, and it proved it when that try that sealed it. Ellison scored, but it was a wonderful combination. We saw Farrell peel off the scrum, run through, the Bradford loose forward, gone on the open side. It's things like that. You can't substitute experience, and it was the way that Edwards followed back on the inside. That was the reason why they won the game.
I wonder if Craig Murdoch would have done all that. I mean, I don't want to pinpoint Murdoch necessarily, but that's why Edwards was there tonight.
Well, the thing is that when you need to dig deep, Sean McRae knows exactly all about that. I mean, St Helens dug deep this time to make sure that they got back into the game, and that's what happened tonight.
Well, I don't know where we go from that, but I think if I see anyone on the way home this evening who says that Super League isn't working, I might throttle them. Sean, it's an absolutely fabulous sport. Played like that, you can't wish for anything better.
Well, I said at half-time, it's a great spectacle, except if you're involved with a club. I mean, that's where the hair falls out and you have heart problems. But
what do you say to Brian Smith tonight?
Well, it's just disappointing. I mean, Brian was willing them home like every Bradford supporter. I think it's just a shame that he has to bow out like this, because he's he's a good friend and he's a very good coach. And I know that Parramatta are going to benefit. I know Bradford have already had the benefit, and I'm sure his experience this year will carry on with Matt Elliott and the rest of the staff. But just a shame, and as we all know, someone's got to win, someone's got to get beat.
And Wigan are the team that have won. They are through to the Premiership final. Now then, we have 75 hours of live sport on Sky Sports in just 2 days this weekend on our 3 sports channels. Over on Sky Sports 2, right now, we have Speedway and the British Grand Prix from Hackney. Coming up here on Sky Sports 1, World Championship Boxing, Prince Nassim Hamed against Manuel Medina, live from Dublin. And that's followed at 11:30 by live tennis, the US Open from Flushing Meadow in New York. The Premiership semi-final will be live and exclusive from Knowsley Road in our Sunday match, 6:30. The champs take on the London Broncos, and we will reflect all this and the Man of Steel celebrations in boots and all on Thursday at 10:30, before we bring you the Premiership final from Old Trafford next Sunday, live at 6:30 with a 7 o'clock kickoff. Well, if the Premiership final is half as good as this, and if Saints and London serve up anything like this, don't dare miss it. You're in for a treat.
Stone Super League coverage on Sky is sponsored by The Times.
A union of strength.
Of the evening, the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. First, please welcome tonight's challenger, the former 2-time world champion from Mexico, introducing Manuel Medina.
Complete with sombrero, Manuel Medina, the tough, experienced Mexican who's held 2 versions of the world featherweight title, arrives in the arena. He's had 59 fights, he's been a pro for 11 years, and in all that time, he's been stopped only twice, and then, he says, only by injuries. He's been in with all the top featherweights, and if Nassim Hamed can blast out this man, he really will prove himself, even to the doubting Thomases, as the most explosive puncher in the featherweight division. But Manuel Medina, I think, on paper anyway, represents the toughest test so far for Britain's young star. Agree, Glenn?
Yes, very much so. A 2-time world champion, very respectable, good boxer, very good credentials, and he's been around the game, very experienced.
And look at the Cutsman. I don't know if he's got any connections with Scotland. That's Chuck Bodak. Very Gallic look to his arrival. Top American Cutsman Chuck Bodak working in the corner with Manuel Medina, who is a very tough nut to crack.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring, here is the defending one-of-a-kind WBO featherweight champion of the world, Prince Nassim Hamed.
The Prince arrives to the topically favourite band Oasis. Tonight, no sedan chair, just an ordinary, dignified walk to the ring, which many would say is exactly how it should be. A young man from Sheffield, again being watched by American TV tonight. Last time out, they saw him floored for the first time in his career. Their verdict, exciting, charismatic, but not totally convincing. Will he convince them tonight?
Well, I think he was convincing in the way he got up and dispatched with Alicia. That was what was convincing. He went down, but he got up, and that's the mark of a champion.
And it has to be said that Prince Nassim Hamed is arriving here to a very mixed reaction from the Dublin crowd, Glenn.
Yes, he is. There's a few boos and a few cheers, and it is quite a mixed reception. I think his arrogance does not go down with everybody. Some like it and some don't.
Well, this could be the Eubank phenomenon revisited, couldn't it? A lot of people turned up to watch Eubank's fights in the fervent hope of seeing him put in his place. Well, they like that, all right. I think Frank Warren and Prince Nassim's answer to the mixed reaction would be, never mind all that, look at the box office takings. That's the tale of the tape. Medina is 29 now. Prince Nassim Hamed, much the younger man. Medina, look at that, with a big height and reach advantage. How significant might that be, I wonder? .59 fights for Medina. Very experienced at World Championship level. He's much, much more experienced than Prince Nassim. But look at Hamed's knockout percentage, 90%. Only two men have gone the distance with him so far. The rule's mandatory count, no standing eight. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop it. And the bell will save a fighter only in the last round. Prince Nassim Hamed continues to go through his disco dancing routine. Did that knockdown last time suggest he has a weak chin, or did he really prove his quality by getting up and knocking out Daniel Alicia in the very next round? More answers coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, boxing fans joining us across the UK on Sky Sports, and sports fans joining us around the world. We welcome you to the Point in beautiful Dublin, Ireland, for the featured attraction of the evening, brought to you by Frank Warren's Sports Network and Don King Productions, as sponsored by Adidas and NBC. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor at ringside Nick Karasiotis, along with the Boxing Union of Ireland Chairman Nick Moore, President Mel Crystal.